So let's start. Let's get it started. So the first thing I want to talk about is business principles as it relates to the Bible. These four different things that we're going to be talking about. So let me just get started. So the first thing is stewardship. Okay. Um, God created us to be managers and be stewards over the things that we have. So to advance His kingdom, He wants us to be good stewards. Okay, if you think about it, a kingdom is something where it's created, and then the King, which is God, Jesus, He lives in heaven, right? And then He uses us as vessels to manage the land, to manage earth, right? But everything that He has created belongs to Him. It says in the Bible, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and everything that dwells in it, right? So God, you have to understand the kingdom in order to understand what He wants us to do and understand stewardship. So He wants us to be managers, which means that nothing here on earth, we don't own anything here on earth. We just manage it and we steward it, right? We don't own anything. A lot of people say, my car, my house, my this, my that. But at the end of the day, everything belongs to God. So God wants us to be good managers over what He has given us, okay? And then He will provide us with more. A lot of people talk about, prosperity gospel, but this is not prosperity gospel. This is biblical principles that God wants us to do. He wants us to multiply what we have. And we're going to get into that too. He wants us to multiply what we have. In Matthew 25, um, Jesus talks about he gives us a parable about three different men who had talent. He's given them talents. He's stewarded to them. So it still belongs to Him, but He's given it to the three different men to see what they would do. So He goes away for a long time, which is God in heaven, right? He's given us things to steward, and then he goes away and He sees what we've done with it, right? So two men, they multiplied or they doubled whatever they had. The first guy, he turned 5 into 10. The second guy, he turned 2 into 4. But the third guy, he didn't multiply what he had. He buried it, right? And God said, you didn't even give it to the bank to add any interest to what I had. So he says, cast that unprofitable servant into the outer darkness, which means He wants us to multiply everything that we have. Okay. So that's multiplication. He wants us to multiply, not add, not divide, not subtract. He's a God of multiplication, right? In the story of Job, what did he do? He doubled, he gave more, he multiplied what Job had at the end, right? There's so many instances in the Bible where God multiplies, right? He gives you like for example, He says, test me and see that I will pour you out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. He's talking about multiplication, because whatever you give to Him, He's gonna multiply it, right? So that's multiplication. The third concept is giving, guys. A lot of people they give with an expectancy to get back, right? But God says to give from your heart. Just give, give what you have. And He says it's better to be a giver than to receive, right? So He wants you to give from the bottom of your heart. A lot of people, they give tithes, they give things expecting a return. And He also said to the Pharisees, like, you should have not only tithe, but you should have been faithful and you should have been good to the people that that you were supposed to do, that you were supposed to be good to, right? Not just tithe, because anybody can tithe, but um, can you be good to people morally? Can you have faith, and can you exercise that and give your tithes? That's what God wants you to do. He wants you to give, okay? And then He'll pour you out a blessing that you won't have room enough to receive. Okay. And the fourth thing is purpose, guys. Um, in the kingdom and in kingdom living, um, God, He gives each and every one of us a purpose, right? And it's for us to fulfill our purpose for His will, right? A lot of people are getting jobs, doing things, trying to get followers, trying to get likes, trying to get video, things like that, trying to explode online. And God is simply asking you to fulfill your purpose for His will, right? So in the kingdom, your purpose is your currency, right? Giving is God's currency, right? Giving with your purpose is God's currency. So it works like this: you serve God and not money, right? And when you serve God, then He gives you your purpose, right? And then once you have your purpose, then you serve your purpose to other people, right? So Jesus in the word, it says that um, the greatest of you all shall be the servant of you all, which means you need to get into your purpose and you need to serve the masters with your purpose for the reason that you're here on earth. Okay. Anybody have any questions before I continue, before I get into LLCs and business? Anybody in my inner circle? No? Okay. All right. So we're going to get into LLCs, guys. I wanted to get that going first because many people, they they think that, Christians are supposed to be poor and they're not supposed to have, riches or wealth. In the Bible, there's so many people um, that are wealthy, that are rich, but they serve God first, right? Abraham, he was very rich in cattle and silver and in gold, right? But he was a servant of God first. Even David was a king and he was rich, right? But he served God first. And that's what God wants you to do. He wants you to serve him with your purpose and serve other people, right? And then in turn, money will come that way as a byproduct. Okay, so let's get into LLCs, guys. First, you're going to talk about the personal side, and then we're going to talk about um, business credit and LLCs. Okay. So on the personal side, usually they report um, your personal credit to the credit bureaus, right? And if you have, say, 5K in personal credit, right? In personal, on the business credit side or your LLC, they're going to give you double that. So they're going to give you 10K, right? Because it's a business. It's not your own self, right? So they know that you need more funds for your business, right? Say you have a 10K on your personal or 20K. If you have good business credit, they'll give you 20K, 50K, or unlimited, even an unlimited card, depending on your business. So, Amex Platinum, depending on your business, you can get an unlimited amount of funds to fund your business. Okay. So just think of it like this. They report this to the credit bureaus on your personal side, but on the credit side, they don't report any of that to your to the credit bureaus, right? So that's kind of like an advantage where like LLCs and business credit don't report to your personal. So if you have something in your LLCs like real estate, or you have your business in there, you have things in your LLC, no one can really see that. It's kind of like private. Okay. So what do you need for business credits? And I like to tell a lot of people this. Most people don't understand this. You have to get good on your personal side here in order to start using business credit and LLCs. So you want at least a 650 here, right? Or above before you start to dip into LLCs or you start to dip into business credit, okay? The ways to increase your credit, right? The first thing you want to do is pay off what you owe. Pay off what's owed. It's simple. And you have to learn how to budget in order to pay off what you owe, whether it's the snowball method, avalanche method, those methods where, you pay the smallest and then you move on to the biggest one, the biggest credit card. Just pay off what is owed, right? And in turn, your score will increase. Okay. Number two, I tell most people this to increase their credit score. Open a Chime. Open up a Chime account. And by the way, guys, I'm not a lawyer or anything. If you guys want to get information about LLCs and you guys want to learn about this on a professional level, please get in contact with your lawyer. I'm not a lawyer or accountant or anything like that. I'm just here, just giving you guys my opinion and what I know about real estate and about finances. Okay. So, number two, open up a Chime account or open a secured card with Capital One. Both of these cards, you want to put money on them, right? So secured Capital One, you're going to put maybe $200 on a secured line. That will increase your credit score. Opening up a Chime account and putting it towards your credit bill, let's say 1K towards your credit bill, your credit builder, it'll increase your credit score. Okay. So those are two things you can do uh, opening up cards and increasing your credit score. Okay. Um, for the LLC side, guys, it's a little different, right? You have something called a payback score, which is the same thing as on your personal side, the credit score. So you want your payback score to be at 80 or above. And you want like an 80 or above is like a 700 and up. Okay. And we're going to get into how to increase your payback score. Okay. Um, so how to do that, right? You have to get certain accounts with your with your business. So let's go into how to create your LLC. Okay. Number one, go to the government website, whichever state you're in, where you want to create the LLC, right? And you want to create a LLC, and then you pay 225 or somewhere around there, and then you start your LLC. So when you started, they give you articles of form, and then also they give you have to get an EIN number. In some states, you're you have to do a newspaper. You have to broadcast it to two local newspapers, like in New York State. You have to put it in the newspaper so people can know that you have a business. It's official. Okay. Another thing, you want a business account. This is important, guys. So a lot of people, they open this up, they do the EIN, they do the articles, they even do the newsletter, the newspaper, right? But then when it comes to the LLC, they don't open up a business account, which is one of the most critical things. You got to open up a business account, whether it's savings or checking it. And you want to put at least 2K into it, right? So that the business can have some sort of funds to operate, right? And you can show the bank that you have some money going into there. You have some type of flow, right? Um, and then once you do the business account, you open that up, you put money into it. You want to get some lines. They call it 30-day lines. There's companies called Quill. Um, there's a company called Uline, and then there's a company called what's that one? Granger. Where you can get 30-day lines where they invoice you and then you pay off that invoice right away. And what that does is it increases your payback score, right? You want to get these lines in a couple, like as soon as you open this up, start getting these lines. Put money in your account and then start getting these lines so you can show um, creditors and you can show banks that you're able to pay back what you owe, right? And that's how you get started in your business credit, okay? So let's go to um, how can you file your taxes with LLCs, right? So LLCs, which means I forgot to tell you guys, this means limited liability company. That means that exactly what it says, right? Limited liability company. That means that um, it's nothing is on your personal side. So if someone trips and falls on your property, if anything happens on like in your company or in your business, they have to pierce your LLC first. A lawyer has to go into your LLC, figure out whatever's there, and then they can go after what you have, right? And it takes some research, it takes some time to do that. You want to own nothing and control everything. That's the name of the game. Control everything, own nothing, right? You want to be in control of all of your LLCs, even your trusts. You want trustees so that you can control everything. You don't want anything in your personal name where you can something can happen and then they sue you on your personal side. Okay, that's not what we want. We want to control everything through LLCs and through trusts. Okay, and that's a limited liability company. So let's get into the taxes. All right, there's three major ways you can set up the LLCs for tax purposes. Right. So one is S corp. Two is C corp, and three is sole proprietorship. Sole prop. I like to use this one, sole prop, for real estate purposes because it's a pass-through entity. Your LLC is a pass-through to your personal taxes. So you get taxed on the personal side with your real estate or whatever you have in that LLC, right? So it's kind of like a tax advantage where you can get depreciation for your real estate, things like that, and it tax you on the personal side. Also, passive income is taxed different from regular income tax. Okay, so I like to use the sole proprietorship for that. S corp is for employees, guys. So what it does is if you have a business where you have to pay some sort of employees, right? You pay the employees, right? And I believe um it's not a tax. And then after that, you're taxed on everything else. You're taxed on whatever profits that you make. So that's the advantage of the S corp. And a C corp is two different things. A C corp can be a business, or you can be taxed as an LLC in the C corp. And C corp just means double taxation, where there are some advantages for that double taxation. Like say we want to set up LLCs inside your C corp, you can get into different strategies to to capitalize on the C corp. Okay, but you first get taxed on the profit from the C corp, and then you get taxed on the employees that you pay, right? Employee tax and the profit tax. Okay, but there are some advantages to C corp. C corp can be used as a business, guys. A lot of people don't know this. People just think, LLC, C corp, right? C corp is actually it's a business, and these are what the major companies use, like Starbucks or McDonald's, or they use C corps, guys, where they go public and they have shareholders. This is the advantage of C corp. They have shareholders, right? And you can buy into their stock. One, you can buy, you can buy into their stock, and also, it's advantageous for people that are starting investing. Like, say if you want to start real estate and you need to raise money for people, right? I mean, for your business, you can give, for example, one share to someone for, let's say, 10K, or let's say 100K, right? If you have 10 people that want to invest, that's 1 billion. And this is what the C Corp is for. So that you can begin to collect the money so that you can take this 1 million and you can invest it into, let's say, a 50 unit property or something along those lines, right? So that's the advantage of the C Corp. And the C Corp gives you way more money than a limited liability company. A C corp, banks will lend you way more money than the LLC, because LLC it's limited. It's in the name, limited. So you're going to get a limited amount of money, right? With the C corp, it can go really high because you have investors also. Okay, so that's that on the C corp, the S corp, and the sole proprietorship. Okay. Like I said before, guys, it's very important that you understand budgeting, right? Because if you're on the personal side and you want to get into LLCs and things like that, business, you have to make sure that you're a good steward over the personal side, guys. Make sure that you're budgeting correctly so that you can budget your company correctly also. Okay? Anybody got any questions? Great. Can you check the Substack to see if there's any questions on that? Okay. No? Okay. All right, guys. If we don't have any questions, this was a quick session. Um, we went over LLCs, went over C Corps. I think by the time I did everything that I wanted to hit, um, if we don't have any questions, then I'll make everybody a offer here, which I always do when I'm oh, you Kaya, you have a question? Go ahead.
Sure, but I really don't know how to phrase it because we had a house
Uh-huh.
where we were trying to do a business for candle making, a candle making business.
Okay.
And I started hearing about that this thing about taxes that we had to pay. And um, I wasn't really sure what it was, that it was saying that we had to pay taxes, but they were saying it was some quarterly report that you had to do, that you had to stay on top of it. And it was something new that just recently started within the last year or so. It's
Okay, so I think what you're saying is, they add something where you had to pay taxes every quarter, right? Or
yeah.
so that's basically. Oh, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, in some instances, you can pay quarterly, and you can like keep an account and pay quarterly taxes, which is beneficial for your business, or you can pay like by the year. That's what we do. We pay by the year, and not the quarterly. Okay. Um, I hope I answered your question, but I don't think like I would say, like, You can do it quarterly, that's fine, right? Or just check with your accountant, check with your CPA, because your CPA will know exactly what to do. And also how your tax um for your LLC is set up. Some people set it up as a C corp, S corp, or sole proprietorship. So you have to see how you set it up or how the CPA sets it up for you. Okay. Hope, hope, hope I answered the question, Ms. Dennis. Yeah, like that. All right, guys. So, I don't have much else left. I always like to make an offer on here. So I'm gonna offer everybody, that's out there. This is what I offer to create your LLC and also to get you business lines of credit, whether it's 20K, or 50K or whatever it is. I can help you to get it right. So you can open LLC and also get you started on your business from there. Okay. And also it's 3 months. We'll do this in 3 months. And the offer is 750. Okay. And in 3 months, um, we'll have you open up your LLC. We have business credit for you. But also you have to come with a business plan, guys. You guys have to come with a business plan if you guys want to do this. Okay. I don't want to help someone try to do all of this. And number one, their credit is not right on the personal side. And then they don't have a business plan. So you must have a business plan and your credit must at least be a 650 or up, even a 600 will work, but you need this business plan because you don't want to get into credit cards with 0% interest from zero for maybe 12 months to 18 months, but you have no business plan in order to pay this, right? So without a plan, you have nothing, so you need to have a plan in order for us to do this. Okay. So I'm offering it for 750. If anybody wants to create your LLC and start their business, just DM me, message me, and then we can get it started for you. Okay. Like I said, come with a business plan in mind. Like have some sort of business ready to go. Okay. If anybody doesn't have any questions, I think we're at 7:30. I usually do until 8, but we're at 7:30. I think I went over everything that I wanted to go over. And if anybody has any other questions, just let me know. Um, and remember, guys, we're we're in we're kingdom citizens, right? We want to serve God, right, with our purpose. And our purpose, you want to serve it to people, to the masses, and that's how you create wealth. That's how you create businesses. You do it to be in right standing with God, right? To increase his kingdom, increase his influence here on earth. Okay. So that's the point of it all. All right. Don't go and chase money just to chase money, just to try to get money, just to try to pay bills. Get into your purpose, get into what you're supposed to be doing here on earth. Okay. Miss Jennifer, you have a question again?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So do you recommend ChatGPT for like business plans, grants, and like trying to write up a proposal for grants and things like that?
Yeah, chat. Yeah, I see a lot of people using Chat GPT. I use it sometimes to create things for my business, for especially for Substack. I use Chat GPT, but Chat GPT is definitely a great resource to create a business plan, to create just to do the outline for the thing that you have in your mind, right? Like you don't want to use Chat GPT to do the whole thing. You want to come to Chat GPT with good prompts on a solid business plan that you want, and then it'll lay out kind of like, the things that you can incorporate in that business plan or in that business. Okay. That's a good question. That's a good question, Miss Jennifer. Thank you for that. Right. If you guys don't have any more questions, thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for showing up to tonight's Wednesday's meetup. We have it every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm actually taking a break from writing for a little while for the month of September and maybe October. I'm not sure yet, but I'll be back on the board for my paid subscribers to give you guys that content for the newsletters. Okay. Next week for my paid subscribers, we're going to be walking you through how to create your LLC. So I'm gonna go from the top to bottom, how to create one. I'll probably do one maybe for North Carolina, or I may do one for New York, or I may even do both. I might do a corporation for North Carolina, and then I might do just an LLC for New York. So if you guys want to learn how to do that, become paid subscribers, and then you guys can get in the room, and then I'll show you guys step by step, and then you guys can just take off from there. Okay. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for coming. And I'll see you guys next week in God's will. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Have a
Have a
good
good
night.
night.
Good night. Good night, Gerald. All right.